Blakk Rasta.
What a ten your hot, what a ten day, and go ten your hot, oh, what a ten day. This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. This is our daily editorial. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and it's a human interest story. It says, I only said his manhood is small as a joke. Woman regrets as partner refuses to marry her. A Kumasi-based driver, George Osei, and the mother of his 3 children, Alice Frimpong, are embroiled in a dispute over the future of their 14-year relationship, with both parties making allegations against each other. Now, according to Alice Frimpong, she has 3 children with George and has also suffered 2 miscarriages during their relationship. Now, despite being together for 14 years, she claims George has refused to marry her because of comments she made about him and her alleged confrontation with another woman he was involved with. Now, speaking on Lawson TV's FISM, a program that addresses domestic and relationship issues, Alice alleged that George had been involved with several other women during their relationship. I take care of him whenever work becomes slow for him. Recently, he became involved with a lady called Equia, and I warned her to stay away. One day she called him, and I threatened that if she continued calling, I would curse her. Alice explained that George later cited her actions and comments as reasons for ending plans to marry her. Now, according to her, they were initially living in her mother's house until her mother allegedly asked her to leave, saying she would not support a marriage between the couple. So I told George that her mother, what her mother had said. So I told George what her mother had said. Later, he asked that we visit our grandparents' house. When we got there, he told me he could no longer marry me because I had cursed a certain girl, and also told him that his manhood is small. He recounted. Alice admitted making the remark, but insisted it was intended as a joke. I said it, but it was a joke. I was just joking with him. I told him that if he thinks manhood is for sale, then he should go and buy some to add to his own, he said. She further stated that if George is unwilling to marry her, she wants financial compensation for the years they spent together. Wow. Now, my brother, my sister, they have been together for 14 solid years. They have 3 children and 2 miscarriages. They have moved from one family house to the other, rejected on 2 different occasions, at least one big occasion. He has been womanizing, according to the lady, and she warned him against that and went ahead to confront one of his girls and even cursed her. A lot of local people understand what it means to curse somebody. They believe it works. They believe it's a divine kind of bad luck on anyone that this curse is put on. They could even die. My brother, my sister, but in all this, despite the fact that the woman continues to say, oh, your thing is small, your manhood is small, she still opens up so that this man will continue using that small thing to make babies with her. At the end of the day, the man opens up plainly and says, you know what? I'm not sure I am comfortable marrying you. And the reason is simple. Amidst others, the most important here probably is the fact that you told me that my thing is small. My brother, many people would see this as trivial, but for a man, it is a big slap on his ego. I don't know, but a lot of women make these mistakes. Much as women are very sensitive, extremely sensitive to some remarks that some men would make, and might not even want to see the faces of those men again ever. Men also have similar sensitivities, and one of those is their performance in the bedroom. If a young lady or a woman can open a mouth and tell a man, oh, or your thing is small, the man may forgive, but would never ever forget. This would be in the middle part of the brain of the man. She says, my thing is small. She's just waiting for a man whose is big, so that she would ditch me and kick me out. If she can open her mouth and tell me that my thing is small, it means she's waiting for a bigger one. It's just a matter of time. She'll tell me, you know what? I have found the man with the right size of the thing that I've been waiting for all this while. Can you excuse me? A lot of women don't see this, but that is what men look at. I will not continue being with a woman who tells me, your manhood is small. I'll give her the opportunity to find the one that is the right size for her. I don't know about you. I think George has been patient. He's continued to be with her and make babies with her. Now he's making it plain. That thing that we said is small, I've tried to increase the size, but it's not working. It's not sold on the market. For that matter, I found another woman who thinks that this is the right size for her. So I want to excuse you, so you go find your right size. We have to be careful in our relationships. There are some things a woman never wants to hear from a man, and I can't say that on radio. Some of those things may include personal things to the woman, how she looks, and some other such things. I know a certain lady, right from when we were in primary school, who had a classmate tell her some things about her own body. She never forgave this guy, even though it looked like everything was okay, until old age, when she got her own back. You know what that means? Revenge. Be careful what you tell a woman that will dampen her ego. Everybody has a certain ego, and when that ego is slapped, it might just call for the end of a relationship. I'm not a relationship tutor. I'm not a marriage counselor, but I think I have enough experience in this caboodle to be able to talk to younger people. My brother, there are some utterances you make about a woman. You become her enemy forever. But you probably think that this is nothing but a joke. Think about it carefully. And when it comes to a man, please If you are not satisfied with his performance and you think you deserve better, which you can't get from him, kindly walk away quietly if that is the most important thing to you. So your thing is small. Kweku die. Anka kweku. Anka. Wa de anu te se fufuo tim. De u de anu die. De be ni. De be ni. Ubeka se gogome. Anase gogome ba. Think about it deeply. Some of those things are never forgotten. Today, George is telling Alice that, you know what? We can continue pounding fufu. We will continue to make peace. But this thing has been a scar on my ego. I'm not comfortable marrying you. She's now looking for compensation. What kind of compensation are you looking for? Are you going to compensate him for depressing him? This is so depressive. Do you know that? Because of some of these comments, some men go around drinking things, concoctions, and massaging things. Oh my God. One comment can make a man go crazy. Same way one comment can make a woman go crazy. One comment, I just don't want to go into those. Her ego will be bruised forever. She will do everything she can in order to fix it. Even if she can't. A woman who can go all length for surgery to increase a backside and a front size. That means that she cares so much about the comments that people make about her body. Women spend about 99% of their time dealing with their body. Makeup alone takes some women 16 hours to make. One makeup, they start from the previous day. If they have a meeting on Friday, they will start making this makeup from Wednesday. True? For a man, you just jump into your trousers and pick up a sweatshirt. And yeah, Charlie, what thing? Let's go. But with a woman, no, sir. Anytime you live in a neighborhood and hear the car honking, bing, 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 it is always a man in the car who is tired of waiting for the making up woman to come out. It is always a man who is waiting for his woman to come out of the bathroom. 7 hours in the bathroom, 16 hours to make up the face alone, and you make a comment on the body of such a person, you are finished. Much as you don't want those comments, don't visit men with comments that describe them as men. You are not a man if this thing is not what it is. True? True? Any which way. This was just by the way. Now, my brother, my sister, the next thing I want to look at is equally interesting, and I need us to come around and watch this. It might be scary, but it is what it is. KLM flight forced to land 45 minutes. And this is from Ghana Web. KLM flight forced to land 45 minutes after Accra takeoff. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines flight KL 590, we took off from Accra to Amsterdam on Thursday, that's just yesterday, June 11, 2026, had to force an emergency landing back to Accra International Airport after about 45 minutes in the skies, with the crew anxious, according to some of the terrified passengers who were later lodged in various hotels in Accra. No reason was given for the development except for the announcement that the flight had been rescheduled. One of the passengers who spoke to manewsgh.com on grounds of strict anonymity said they were scheduled to leave Accra at 10 p.m. but finally left 8 minutes late. Midway, they observed the flight was no longer moving, and we suspected something was amiss. It was later that we were informed that the flight was heading back to Accra to land. In view of the development, passengers on board were gripped with fear. Passengers were expected to leave Accra. Oh yes, today, the 12th of June, 2026. My biggest fear in life is not failure. My biggest fear in life is not a weapon wielding man. My biggest fear in life is to sit in an aeroplane and I start having turbulence. The way I was created, I'm supposed to be traveling around the world, spreading the message and sowing seeds of peace, love, and harmony. But anytime I sit in a plane, I write my will in my head. I fear planes. I fear planes. Anytime I sit in an airplane, something clicks in my head that, Blakk Rasta, this is your final day. Say your last prayer, write your will, and you are gone. Sometimes I even pick up my phone and type a message and send it to myself. Hopefully, when I crash and die, some forensics may reveal what my last wishes were. That is how much I am scared of flying. I have read all the books about flying. I've spoken with all the pilots who matter. I have tried to look at seats or corners where you would be safe even when there's a crash. That is how far I have gone. I'm sure if I was on this plane, I would have comatosed. My brother, my sister, it's crazy. For an airline like KLM, so respected, to take flight, well, 8 minutes late, that is not so bad. It flies for 45 minutes. I'm sure it was outside the Ghanaian territory. In 45 minutes, it is enough for KLM to be outside Ghana. My brother, my sister, only for the plane to stop moving. I can imagine a car stop moving, but a plane to stop moving in mid-air, I can only imagine. I know a plane can hover around, but to stand just at one place and stop moving, I can't imagine that. Helicopters are capable of doing that. But a whole big fat plane, a bombardier, I'm wondering how they achieved that. Now, amidst fear, pilot announces that, you know what? We are returning to Accra to land because the flight has been rescheduled. How? How can you take flight? You didn't reschedule it before moving? Once it is in mid-air, 45 minutes after some people probably have even had their first meal or drink, and some are already snoring, then you tell them that, listen, you are returning to Accra because this flight has been rescheduled. Courtesy should tell us that. The airline should be able to tell us, you know what? The plane is returning to Accra for A, B, C, D reasons. Of course, bearing in mind that you do not want fear to overwhelm your passengers. A lot of who are like me, who have fright while flying. My brother, my sister, it reminds me of when I flew from the same Amsterdam to Ghana via Africa Airlines, Libya. My brother, it was one of the worst flights I ever had. On the flight, all the movies they show you, they don't show the hands of women. So if it's a movie that has a woman wearing a certain dress that does not cover her whole arm, they will blur the whole body. Religiously, they don't want to show the woman's body. The arm is part of the woman's body. And sometimes even the face, they will blur the face. They would only show you if the woman is wearing a mask. In Islam, they call it a purdah. My brother, my sister, you will never enjoy a movie on Africa Airlines. Everything is blurred. You can't watch this. You can't see this. You can't see that. Even comedy. Oh my God. And when it's time for announcement, that is the most annoying time on Africa Airlines. Innama al-zulla barkar zabbaka bahal razul barhal merkar zarkataman daltit Izrazil bulatun zarba mazabar kas la ila wa zabbar kabatatapas zalzubul kahar wa Peter zamaul zalla kuzabal ho من الناس الزبزب ديزا بل كل الناس من الهو من الكتر من الرر من الكتر قال هواريون نحن أنصار الله لا إله وبركة سبك فرقشيجي. The announcement goes on for the next 30 minutes, and when they are now translating that into English, so the flight is the Rapton coming to Rebus, is coming all the way from Berskas, and we are expecting partats to come on the bus and all the way bridge Berskas. And thank you. You don't understand what they are saying. The accent is still Arabic. They speak the English, mix it with the Arabic, and you don't understand. So you turn to an Arabic speaking person who is sitting like 7 million miles away from you right there on the plane. What did they just say? Oh, they said they are serving lunch, and the lunch is without pork. That's the announcement that took about 30 minutes. Oh yes, they are telling you the kind of tomatoes they used. They are telling you the kind of oil they use. They are also telling you that, oh, well, after eating, don't drink water immediately. Yet when it comes to translating it into English, it's 2 seconds. And even that, nobody understands. In fact, the most terrible moment is when you are getting turbulence, when the plane is shaking. Oh my God. You don't know if they are telling you to get ready for a crash. You don't know if they are telling you that get your whatever vest under what. You don't know. That one also takes about 1 hour to announce. So imagine KLM just telling passengers, oh, we are going back to land in Accra because the flight has been rescheduled. What language is that? Your passengers do not deserve the respect to be told that, oh, you know what? We have just realized that going forward, the weather has changed and it's a little murky. So we will return to Accra and reschedule the flight for the following day. I think that is one of the wisest things to say. Oh, weather conditions around this area which we will arrive in the next hour or two are not too good. For that matter, we want to return to Accra. Every passenger would understand this. We are not saying tell passengers that there's an engine problem and you are praying that you should be able to land in Accra before the whole plane explodes. No. Tell them something that will soothe their fear until they arrive. But make sure that it is not too far away from the truth. KLM, I think you could do better. I'll leave it here.